Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to another live video and learning together how to create cards. I hope you guys are doing great today. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Kansas girl. Hi, Joanne. I hope you guys are doing well. I am so glad that you are enjoying the very merry workshop. I have to say I did enjoy that workshop very, very much myself. So thank you for getting it. Okay, guys. So, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. You have 3 more days, guys, to subscribe to the Paper Pumpkin Kit for these Warm Wishes kit. These are boxes for treats or for little gifts. I don't think you want to miss that one. Always remember that the Paper Pumpkin Kit is super flexible in the sense that if you want to, like, stop the subscription, let's say put it on hold, you can do that. So you can skip a kit if you see it and you're like, I'm not sure I like that one. Hi, Tina. Hi, Donna. Hi, Carrie. How are you all? So it's really flexible. And you also in the end can cancel it. So just putting that out there. Don't forget that if you get if you buy on my online store $50 before shipping and taxes, you will get this awesome brush attachment for our Take Your Pick. We've used it a couple times in some videos here, and I really think it's an amazing option. So don't hesitate. If you have something in your wish list, just go ahead and go to my online store. Okay, let me move to the crafting table, guys. We're here. So a couple of things. It has been, guys, really, really busy. And I am getting ready because my mom's coming. She always comes for Thanksgiving. So I'm super, super excited about that. But that means, extra cleaning in the house and, getting certain rooms ready that we rarely ever go. And it means extra work in the house. And of course, I did have to decorate for Thanksgiving and all that. All that is amazing. Oh, you're totally right. So Donna is saying that the Paper Pumpkin Kit is a great way to get you into crafting. I think it's just made easy so you can just follow really simple instructions and be able to learn about crafting, right? In the end, it's a learning process. So bottom line, I had another card that I had designed for today, and well, you that it's in my little list, and I'm like, okay, I don't have time to make changes and all that stuff, so I decided to be a little on the I'm trying to think what's the right word. A little bit on the relaxed, yeah, maybe that's the word. Well, relaxed side, let's call it that way. And so I think that so Tina, good. We have 2 Tinas. That's awesome. Thank you, Tina. And so I decided, well, let's work on pop-up cards. Pop-up cards are I think they're very popular, and you can make so many cool things, right, when you have a pop-up cards. And so we're going to go a little bit on one of the types because there are far too many. But we can, hey, Kathy, how are you? But we can adjust that a little bit. So we're going to go through that process. So trying to learn that about the pop-up card. And then I have 2 cards to make. Best case scenario. We'll see how that rolls. I talk too much. Hey, I am moving along. So hopefully this is not as bad. So I am going to bring a piece of white cardstock, and I am going to cut this at 1.5. Okay. And we are going to do this a couple more times. And the first one we are going to try is the one that we're going to use today. So the measurements we're going to try today. And this is, so we said 1.5, sorry, by 8.25. But really we're going to go together. into what we need to do. Now we are going to score this at 1/4. So I'm using the right side of my trim to score. And sometimes I really push that, and Jesus in heavens, I almost broke that one. Yay, Belinda, I'm so glad you're here. And now we are going to turn that again and put it horizontally, and we're going to score, and we're going to score at 3.5. And you'll see, once you get this, it's going to be super simple. Okay, 3.5, 3 3/4, and then 4. Okay, now we're going to move to 7.5, and then we're going to do the same, the same scoring. So 7.5 we score, 7 3/4 we score, and then we're scoring at 8. Okay, so let's start with these tips, and for whatever reason this moved, and that makes me very unhappy. You guys know how OCD I am when this moves, so I'm taking a minute to organize this so it does not move further. So these are the basic things. I'm going to fold this. Okay, so this is, I'm just folding this very quickly without our bone folder or anything. Okay, and we are going to fold this. Okay, before we fold, sorry, let me bring my, we're going to cut, and we're going to cut between these two score lines. So that's the first cut we're going to make, if I'm able to, because I folded and I shouldn't have folded. Sorry, guys. Oh my God, that is so true. Tina is saying that. Isn't it funny that it doesn't matter how old we get, we always get nervous when our moms come? Yes, it is a true statement, Tina. I agree with you. And now we're going to go all the way to the other score line. So this was the 7.5, and we're going to cut from the bottom, and then we are going to just cut all the way to the edge. Okay, so very simple couple cuts that we have. Does that make sense? And now we fold. I was just moving too quickly because I wanted to explain how to make the pop-up, and then I forgot the basics. So what's going to happen, I'm going to bring, we're going to be using today, this is the little apple, why do I always forget? Granny Apple Green. I always forget that name. And this is just a regular 8.5 by 5.5, score at 4 1/4. So what we're going to do is we're going to adhere these two pieces that we created. So these two flaps, we're going to adhere in here, right in the bottom and in the score line here. And then, and we'll do that together for the other two. And then these last piece, so we have two pieces in here. This last piece, this little flap is going to be attached here. We're going to do this together again. So I just want to give you a couple of tips, not hints, about this. Okay, so this is how you can create a pop-up. Now, what I want you to notice is two things. This measurement, it's 3.5. If this right, will be better. So this is 3.5, and this is 3.5. Okay. Thank you, Kathy. And then we scored this at 1/4, right? All the way. And these are, if you remember, they are all at 1/4. So that is the magic of this pop-up, right? What I'm trying to say is you want to make this smaller, then as long as you have the same measurement here and here, it's going to work. You want to make it wider. Well, you can make this a little wider. So instead of 1/4, you can make it 1/2, half an inch. And then because these and these are related, these will be separated 1/2 inch. So I'm going to break it here. So if we were using the same 3.5, it would be 3.5. That's 1/4, but so it will be 3.5. and we score here 3.5, and instead of scoring at 3 3/4, we will score at 4, and then we'll score at 4.5. Why is that? Hey, Pamela. Hi, Pamela. Hey, Adrian. Because these two, so this flap needs to be the same size as this scoring area. I don't know how to call it, but this little area, because this is what, once you close it, see, once you close it, they're going to be in the same, they're going to measure more or less the same. So if this, for whatever reason, it's bigger, it's going to create issues in the pop-up. Is that making sense to everybody? Let me know if that's making sense. Hey, Anita, what I want is for you guys to be able to kind of really reproduce this in whatever size you want. So we scored this one at 3.5. Now we'll have to use 3.5, right? So then we'll go to 8, and this is of course not. We'll have to score at 8, and then 8.5 and 9. Okay, and that's if we wanted to do it wider, like in this area. But in here, so we said we cut a piece of, I forgot, 1.5, sorry, by 8.25. So that means that, for example, if we're going to do these measurements, and I will include all these measurements too, but this would have to be, I have it here because I wanted to explain this. So this is the one we did in here. So this one will have to be 9.5 by 1.5 or bigger. So perfect. Thank you. So in other words, if you want this wider, then this flap needs to be wider, right? And we have one example from the ones I made that this is wider. So you'll be able to put more things inside. Actually, what happened in my case is that I didn't realize that it was going to be this wide. And I'm like, I don't like that. Yes. Yes. So exactly. These two scores. So this flap, right? Remember, it was all a flap. It has to be the same measurement as each one of these individually. Okay, and I'll try to write that so it makes maybe more sense. But once you have that, you can play with this all you want, right? You can make, instead of making this, 1.5, you can make it 1 inch. You can make it much shorter if what you have is like little things to put in. You can make it taller, right? Also, if you want, if what you're having is like something bigger in it. But bottom line, you'll be able to utilize this for anything. You can, and I'll show you that when we're working this. You can close this towards the outside or towards the inside. So yes, Tina, you're right. So long the score has to be the same width. So this width has to be the exact same width as each one of these scores. Okay, let me know, guys, if that makes sense, because that, I just wanted to really go with you into this, because that gives you just any kind of options to play with, right? You'll have the ability to create any pop-up card when it opens. And so what happens is that when you open this, you will have kind of like, it could be a flower pot, it could be whatever, really. We'll do kind of a couple variations, and it just like really works, really cute, right? Because then this will open like this. It folds and it just opens, and it opens flat. Not flat, it opens up. So I hope that made sense. Please ask questions. I am here for that. The whole goal was to teach about that quick pop-up, because I think it's wonderful. It's super easy to make. And once you have that, you can make a lot of options, and you'll see 4 options, hopefully 3 or 4, depending if I stop talking. So The first card we're going to make is using the little monkeys. I love this stamp set. I think it's super cute. You guys know I love coloring, so I will be using these, and I will be using actually the bundle. And the bundle includes the punch. Okay, so that's the first one, and we're going to be using a couple of other things. I don't bring them here, but we will be using the decal circles because I love the decal circles and I love the decal rectangles. And I've said this, guys, if you don't have that kind of layering circles or rectangles or squares, they are super useful, right? I find them useful and I use them, I don't know, every other card or such, right? Then we will be using the fern embossing folder. I checked and it is still available. So oh good, I'm glad that you like. So Adrian is saying that she loves the monkeys too. So yes, and this is the fern embossing folder. I really like this folder and I've used it a lot. It's been in the catalog for quite a bit. And then we will be using our paper florist dies, mainly because it has these little leaves and I was feeling a little lazy and I didn't want to stamp a lot of leaves, you know, all these leaves that they bring and then color and then cut them. So I chose to go with the easy one and I did cut these two leaves. I think I may have cut one of this one, but this one, I don't know why this leaf to me is very fallish kind of leaf. And so I did not, I don't think I cut it. But anyways, so in this case, of course, oh my God. Yes. So Tina is talking about those decal circles, the decal circles and the decal scissors. I remember having some of those, but I'm always cheapolio sometimes. So I remember going, I don't know where, but I got like some really, really cheap scissors and they didn't work as well as I was hoping. So just putting that out there to the world. So again, we're going to start with 8.5, 5.5, and the score at 4.25. I think it's much better if you open these this way. So this would be our layout for today. I'm going to bring my bone folder and really crease that score line because it's kind of rebellious. And we are going to start with the layers. I am using today, here is the white, a white piece of basic white Damaria with the emboss in the fern embossing folder. And this gorgeous piece comes from Delightful Flora. I don't know why I forget the names. Yeah, Delightful Flora. So, but I think it's so appropriate for the monkeys, right? Really, it's supposed to use Parakeet Party and some of the Pretty Peacock. I did not have a whole lot extra of Parakeet Party paper, and since it will be, here soon, it will be retiring. I know it's not here soon, but time moves very fast. I have decided not to buy more of it, and so I I think that this is our granny apple, and I think it really matches well. I think that's one of the advantages of green, as long as they're in the same color tone. So if it's bluer or if it's green, I mean yellower, you will be most likely able to match. And for whatever reason, I messed this up already. So let's move in here. Thankfully, I have another piece that we're going to score here in half because I'm not going to get that one that is messed up. Guys, that only happens to me, right? I'm making sure this is the right measurement, but it is. Okay. So let's go ahead and start adhering our layers to our card. So this again is going to be like this. I am looking at which one looks more like it's horizontal, and I think this side looks better. So hopefully that works. I have my Stampin' Seal Plus in here. I have had a lot of issues just in case. they're not making a liar out of me. With the Stampin' Seal Plus and um, embossed paper, for whatever reason, it just does not like it very much. I have not seen that happening to other people, so it's got to be that I put a lot of pressure on it. So just in case, don't put a lot of pressure. This piece is, you guys know, I like my eighths. So this is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and this is actually like 3/8 smaller, I want to say. So I don't have the measurements right here, but you guys will have those measurements in the PDF, which will be ready hopefully by, I want to say, tomorrow. But if I bring this here, I think it's 3/7/8 by 5 1/4. Oh, Donna, yes. That's why so when it comes to in color papers, and this is just a recommendation to anybody, right? When I do the in color papers, I always just buy, like the bundle packet, the one that has all colors, um, and see which ones I'm really going to use, because I have found out that there are colors that I just do not use very much. I know that Stampin' Up does a really good job in the annual catalog to include, suites that use those colors. But sometimes if you don't have that, you just don't use them, or not necessarily. For example, I love the Orchid Oasis and I love the Starry Sky, and so I have used them, most of them. I've noticed I'm not a very green kind of person, probably just Christmas, I don't know. Like, I like it, but I don't know how to explain it. I don't have a whole lot of cards in green. And so the Parakeet Putty I did not use the whole lot. And so, that's kind of how it worked. The Sweet Sorbet, I've used it a little bit, but I didn't get any more because I'm not using it, so it does not make sense for me to buy it. Okay, so I'm going to add this layer. Oops. And that's pretty decent. And we're going to bring I have it already cut because it's easier. And we are going to bring the Granny Apple Green. And one of those gorgeous stamps that says from the little monkey. This one says, just swinging to say hi. And I love it. I love it. I love that say. I know I've used it a ton. The other thing is that set, the little monkey set, has only like three sayings, right? I'm bananas about you, just swinging to say hi, in little monkey. And so I just feel that this is the one that is really just general. This is very more for babies, and this is like if you're in love with somebody or something like that. So I'm going to try to stamp this as best as I can here in the middle, with the great advantage that it is a circle. And so we have it's really cool because it rarely ever is cricket, right? Like, if it's a circle, so you can always like cricket. So I love circles. I think that's why I like circles very much. And I did cut the next bigger circle in Pretty Peacock, and we are going to start building it. This is not going to be a very I want to say complicated, a very busy front, because we have, hey Tara, how are you? Welcome. We have the inside is kind of what's going to make the difference. And then here's one of the, we'll put him in here, maybe something along those lines, and we'll decorate it. We'll decorate it last. We don't need to do this right now, but I just want to show you how that's going to go. So now let's go to the inside, which is going to be the important piece. So I told you guys I have already everything cut out. So I did cut a piece of white, same, just eighths, and a piece of white and this is a quarter smaller. So I did use, and I just want to remind you guys that you can always make your own stencils. That's why I use this. I don't think if we are we still selling the this was the basic borders. I don't know. I have not checked if we're still using it. I mean, if we're still selling it, using it, Maria. I think they are retired. Don't quote me. Quote me. I think they are retired. But if you manage to get it, I created my own stencil so I could just work with these. Can you do this in paper? Of course you can do this in paper, and you don't need anything. I use special quote unquote stenciling plastic, but by all means you can use, this is the leftovers of the this is the back of the stamps where the stamps come, and so you can totally just use this. So just saying, guys, don't forget that you can create your own stencils with the stuff that you have. Thank you, Carrie. I'm so glad that you like it. Guys, yeah, I'm a little spoiled. So for this color I used the pool party. And I'm going to tell you why. I was not sure which color to use, but then the back of that paper is pool party. So that's so funny. Oh, thank you, Mary. I know that you like these blouse. I'll have to like send you a picture one day so you can find something similar. So that's what gave me the inspiration. I was kind of, oh, good. Thank you, Tina. So the basic borders are still available. If you don't have them, I think it's something that, again, those are the kind of stuff that I think that it's a must get, because you will be using them often. But in this case, again, you can create your own little stencil for the clouds. So that is cool. So again, this is the back of that piece, and it's pool party, and I just decided, oh, well, I'm going to use that one because it's the back. And let's go ahead and adhere these. So I really think that if you're like me, you're always trying to find excuses to buy more things, right? But I just really want to remind you, don't go berserk. Just buy what you really need, what you're going to use, and there are things that I think that are important. You'll see in one of the other cards I made that I made a mistake of putting it. So I put the card this way, the layout this way, and it really looks much better. So just be mindful of that. I just want to bring it to your attention because it happened to me. And so, yeah, it does not matter in the end, right? It does not look bad. Now, I'm going to turn this around towards me because it's much easier for me to put this, but I am making sure that this is the direction, right? So again, I don't have any mishaps on that end. So we're going to put that one, and then we're going to bring, this is the other paper, we're going to put this one in here. And I decided to play a little bit with this, and we're going to do it all together just because it's a little bit easier. So let me come back here. So this is the panel that's going to be on the bottom. Then I cut a little piece of that pretty peacock. I'm in love with pretty peacock, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't remember the exact measurement of this panel, but I want to say it's about 3/4, maybe 3/4 of an inch smaller. And then this one is just 1/8 smaller, right? So using again the parent paper. But I'm like, well, but then I don't have an area to write anything. So I figured I'm just going to cut a little piece. This was 1.5 by, I want to say 3, and scored at, I think it was 3.5 and score at 3, I believe. But that really doesn't matter. And I'm just going to create kind of like a little pattern in here, kind of like a mini book, and it's not an album. I don't know how to describe it, and adhere it that this way. So I can probably even put like a banana in here or something fun, and then still write something here while, you know, in my little card. Now, I do want to say that if you decorate this as much as I do usually, it's going to get thick and it's not going to close very well, right? So I just want to say it so you remember that that I said it, and so be mindful of that, right? If you are going to create a card that you want to like send in the mail and all that good stuff, then eh, just put less layers, right? I've mentioned this a lot. Usually I give the cards by hand, some of the cards, or especially the bigger cards. I just give them by hand, and so I don't consider that a whole lot when I am building a card, which is not logical, I know, but that's me, guys. So do just be mindful of that. And so I'm just building that little kind of booklet, if you want. It's not a booklet. I don't even know how to call it. How would you call it, guys? But this way, you know, again, we can decorate this later, but you can write something in here and still have like a dimension in this area. So, and now we're going to glue this or adhere this. I need to hurry up, guys. I need to hurry up. Okay. And let's go ahead and adhere this. And we need, of course, we need these two areas already decorated before we actually put the mechanism. Unless you're not the flap. Okay, thank you, Kathy. Unless you are going to not put in, you know, a whole panel or a whole layer in here, then you can totally. So this is the mechanism. This is the measurement I give you, the first measurement. So this is 8 1/4 by 1.5, a score at a quarter, and this is a score at 3.5, 3 3/4, and 4, and then 7.5, 7 3/4, and 8. Now we are going to come back in here and cut. Remember, we cut between those two score lines. So between 7.5, between 3.5 and 4. You guys know I'm not like the most experienced cutter. And then we cut here in that this would be the 7.5 cut, and then all the way towards the edge, all the way. Okay, I have already decorated this. Yes. Do you have to? No. You cannot decorate it necessarily. You guys know me. I'm kind of like stubborn on that end, and so I did decorate it. I'm going to bring my bone folder to really crease those. That's always very important if you are creating a thank you, Carrie, some sort of mechanism, right? Like it needs to be well creased, otherwise it will give us it's not problems, but it will not, I don't want to say it's not going to work as well. It can work probably just as well. It's just will be thicker, right? And so just be mindful of that. And now we're going to go ahead and I am not saying, this is one of the reasons I want you to hear this. I'm not saying this goes mountain, valley, mountain, because you can actually leave it both ways. And I'll show you when this is adhered. I want it like this. So this would be, if you start, this is the beginning, right? This would be mountain, valley, mountain. And you will repeat that in here. And this little flap on the lower edge is also mountain, okay? Now, we're going to adhere this. So this is very, very simple. I'm going to open this up. bring my tear and tape. For those of you that always have fun with me using something else, I'm using tear and tape today, guys. Congratulations to me. Because I've said this, I love my tear and tape. And we're going to put tear and tape on the uh, lower end flaps. Okay. This is exactly a quarter, right? So it's very, very tight. Just be mindful to put it as straight as possible. And then we're going to put it in here in the last flap, like that. Okay, so tear and tape goes in these two lower flaps and on the last flap here on the edge. And I'm going to remove this one first, and we are going to adhere this first. I'm going to just fold this. I'm just making sure you guys are seeing. And, you know, see that I folded here in these last, or in this first, it would be score line. And then I am just going to make sure that these aligns as perfect as possible, right? And that is it. So we just created kind of like a little, I don't know how to call it, a little box. Now, this is what I was telling you. It can fold inside. It can fold like that. As long as it folds well, it doesn't matter which side, right? I prefer it inside, but that does not mean it's not going to work if it folds the other way. So just putting that out there for you. Now we're going to remove these first one. And just like this, I am going to adhere it. And I know it's hard to see. I'm going to fold this so you have a good idea of what I'm doing. Can you see? Okay, yes. So I'm just really calculating this, right, guys? Like eyeballing is the word. This as best as I can in the middle. If it's not in the middle, guess what, guys? It's not a big problem because it will close. So the mechanism itself is not a problem. It does not need to be in the center. Some of the mechanisms need to be in the center, but not in this case. And I am adhering these. I don't know if you can tell. I'll show you guys here in a second. Almost to the score line, but not in the score line. Can you tell? Like there is, maybe not with the pen, there is, see, there's a little gap in there between the score line and our little flap. So that is important because it will allow, if you put it too close, this is not going to close. Right? If you put the flap too close to the score line, it will not close. And now we're just going to bring this one here. And I'm going to close this. Okay, it's in place, all in place, and I just close it. And there it is. See how simple this is, guys? And now you can do whatever you want in here. You can get all super creative, relatively creative, however you want it. We're going to try to get creative, of course. And hopefully this works as well as I think it's going to work. So my thought is I want a piece of something here, right? And let me cut this. Let's see. I'm going to cut these the same size, actually. And this is just, I think it's like 3/4. Let me not lie to you. It's 1/2 inch. Sorry. So 1/2 inch. I'm just putting this. Just remember that if you put this in here and it's too tall, it will grow up. So be mindful where you're putting this because otherwise it will go up and it'll be noticeable. So for example, if I put it in here and this close, once it closes, it goes up and it will go off from the edge of the card. And let me kind of reinforce this. So Adrian, I think it was you who once had sent me something similar, remember? And I didn't get to that card specifically, but I figured that maybe this would be a good idea. So what I have not tried is if this is going to close. I think there's not going to be a problem. So same as we have done, I'm going to bring a couple pieces of the tear and taping here. Whoops, that kind of like went a little bit off. There was, I don't know, it's a German Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that created like these adorable monkey scene. And I saw it. I have been wanting to like recreate that card, but I have not had the time to really focus on the mechanism. It's something similar to this, except hers has something in the edge where, on the top, where the monkey will, it's able to, it looks like it's moving. It creates some movement, and I don't know how to create that. But I figure we can have something similar. So I'm just going to bring this in here. And that one in there. So what I am letting, see, Adrian, good memory, mine. What I am letting is letting these, instead of me trying to push it, putting it in here and let this close on its own. What I'm trying to do is not be me who decides where this is going to fall, because this is going to grow, right? Remember? So I'm just making sure that this is going to be okay when I close it. So we're going to create kind of the same thing. And let me see. I should have done this all together. I did not measure this. It does not matter if you want it lower or up high or what, because in the end, this, as long as this closes, it will be fine. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring a little piece of tear and tape. Okay, there's too much going on here on my crafting table. And let's go and see. So my thought, of course, is kind of like creating a tree-ish. I'm going to fold this a tiny bit because that way I can make sure that this is going to be, okay, this moved. There it is. That this is going to be in this more or less the same height. Okay, now as you can tell, this is not gluing very well, so I'm going to fold this and hopefully not throw my things. And I'm just going to go, we can do, you know, a pass with the bone folder, and hopefully that'll help this stay where it needs to stay. I don't want to, so the other way would be to do it like this. Oh, thank you, Anita. I appreciate that. And so that way, you know, we're making sure that that is pressed there and it's not going to come unglued. If it comes unglued, guess what? Not a big deal, because it will, as long as one is there, it's going to stay there. So, you know, that happens. So let's see. I have, of course, a few of our monkeys here. I had, oh, here it is. Jesus, I almost had a heart attack. So my thought is we're going to put one of these in here, and we're going to have our hanging monkey, of course. He's probably my fave of this just because you can't play with it so much. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So for those of you who like coloring, oh no, Donna, I'm not. So Donna's asking if I am silver elite. No, I'm not. I have said this in the past. I am not a very good businesswoman, right? So I do like to create and to have fun, but I am definitely not a super businesswoman. So that's kind of like an issue for me. So I actually ended up cutting two. So see, I really cut two of them. So I have, that's my dog, guys. I'm so sorry. Scared the crap out of me. I have, this is going back to the colors in green, right? The advantage is like the forest or whatever our monkeys are, they don't have exactly one tone of green, right? It has many tones of green, so you can play with this as much as you want. So this is Mossy Meadow, this is Old Olive, As you can tell, I have some granny apple green in here. And I think I'm going to use the darker one and the bigger one and the lighter one. And I am going to put one in here and one in there so you guys can see this way. So we're creating kind of like some leaves in our quote-unquote tree, right? I'm going to put just glue on one side because it's just one side. And I did, of course, that wrong because why wouldn't I? So I'm just putting that way. So it gives you the idea of kind of like trees and leaves. And I'm paying attention where I actually need to put this. Yeah, so it goes back to I love creating. There's two main things. I love creating. I love Stampin' Up, guys. Don't get me wrong, but I do not have um, enough time to, let's say, start thinking, oh yes, I'm going to do this, right? I would love to, but I have to be honest with myself and not set myself for failure thinking, oh, I'm just going to do this and it's going to be all great and it's just not going to work because I know in the end, like again, I have my job and that's what allows me to have fun with Stampin' Up. So I have to protect my job, and so that I am not there at that point in time where I don't think. Oh, thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. And that's the thing, right? Pop-up cards are very simple to make, but I mean, the whole goal is to make them cute, right? So I did make a little slit in there, and I'm going to bring my little monkey in here, right? We're going to slit it there. I'm going to put a little bit of glue in the back and it's just on the tail and that will glue. And of course, I put a whole lot more than I needed, but that's usually what happens in my world, so that's fine. I have several monkeys. You guys know I love my monkeys. So I'm going to bring this friend in here and we can put him in there. Or we can put him in here and it'll be a surprise. Okay, like this. Maybe you guys can see. So something like this, right? And so he can be a surprise when you open. I think that's such a cute idea. And I have a lot of bananas that I, of course, had a lot of fun kind of creating and coloring. And I'm just going to put a couple, whatever, right? Ah, that one fell. And I'm going to put one other one in here. Okay, I'll show you here in a minute how it looks. There you go. So that's the little scene we're creating. Make sure again that when you close, see how close that leaf is to the top. So make sure that you keep measuring when you're closing this. So I think I'm gonna leave this here. I'm going to put my little monkey in here as a surprise, right, like that. And so there's a little monkey with a inside our little booklet there, and just making sure it's covered. And he's gonna have a banana because that makes sense, right? I'm just gonna put that banana in there for him. Just like that. I'm gonna leave that. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you guys are liking it. I have still some extra leaves and I am thinking of putting somewhere something. I'm gonna put that one in there. You can write a little note in here, and then kind of say, "Look inside" or something. The monkey's waiting for you. I have a ton, not a ton, but I have two other monkeys. This one is very much like falling, so that's not, but I can totally still put one monkey here. I'm not sure about that, so I'm going to leave it like this for now. Okay, so there it is. We have our little monkeys hanging, and then this opens and you have your little monkey in there. So we're going to go ahead and close this, and hopefully everything gets all together. And now we're just going to work on our front. I was thinking of putting this up, but no, I'm not going to pop up anything more than it is right now. And this is another branch. So all these comes with the, I'm putting these towards the side. Elizabeth, I will think about, I've been thinking about it. So I have to be honest, every so often I think, oh, I should. And then I'm like, but I just don't, so maybe I will think about creating a class with coloring. We did a whole lot because I'm just going to say this. Of course we can do that, but and that's where it comes. And I am not a good business person, right? Other one will be saying, yes, of course. The truth is, I think that coloring is about practice. It's a lot about practicing and practicing and practicing, right? And so I can tell you things to do, but a lot of it's going to be sitting down and messing it up and back again and back again. And you guys know that I am saying that because I went through that. And so I'm bringing my little monkey in here, like there. And sometimes I do that and it's so funny. I'm just going to put him like there. And I'm going to hold that for a second, and I'm going to bring a couple of bananas in here just for fun, right? And I put, one in there. I'm so glad you guys like it. Okay, guys, it's, what is it, 6:52. We have time to make the other one. The other one is much simpler. So if you are interested, we can do it. What do you guys think? Yay or nay? Do we do this, or I'm just going to put this one in here. Do you want to decorate the other one? The other one is much simpler card. So I'll wait a couple more minutes. Yes. So Kathy, yes, totally. It's about working and not working, about just practicing. So Rachel in Facebook says yes. Hi Rachel, how are you? Thank you. I am so glad you guys like it. You can tell I have like all these little pieces, but you know that I always do that. Okay, I'm gonna put all these in here. So here's the card. Simple on the front. It's just very, very bright and very adorable because that monkey is just super cute. And then you open it up and then you have your little monkey in there. Then you can write something here and then you'll have an extra monkey there on the side. Okay, Belinda says yes. Anita says yes. Okay, so let's get going. Oops, that kind of worked. Okay, card number 1. I'm gonna put this on the side. I'm gonna start real quick with the basics. I did use a ton of things in this card. For whatever reason, like I kept adding one thing and adding hi Gary, thank you, and adding another thing, and I was like, oh my god, Maria, for real. So yes, Kathy. So Kathy is saying that when the little guy is looking at the bananas, he like at his banana he dropped. Oh, I should have done that. We can do that here in a minute. And so I don't know why. I am using, I went back and checked what was the name of this paper. This paper is called Shining Christmas. Shining Christmas. That's the one we used last week. I absolutely love it. It's already sold out, so, and it's not coming back. It was on the online exclusives, but I absolutely love that the backs are only black and red, white and red. And so that's the one we're going to be using today on the black and white and red. I am using the Mary, I always forget the name of this, Mary Merry Melody. I'm so glad you guys like it. Merry Melody. And this is same as before. I am going to create this one like that. I did not think of no, I did not think of the pattern. That's what I was telling you guys. I've made the mistake, so do analyze your cards better. Like is going to this is going to be the layout, although it's going to open and you're going to open it like that. But I'm pretty sure that people will forgive me. And what I did here is I embossed. So let me go back. I stamp in our cherry cobbler, and then I put some clear embossing on it and emboss it. So that's how I created that. And this is in vellum. And so we're going to put this one in here. It's very simple. We'll do the front here later just because it has another couple of pieces on it, and I just want to make sure that we run through the piece. So through the card. Okay. Again, these so funny. It's so hard for me to work with white. Don't ask why. Okay, there it is. Sort of. So this piece is same as always, 1/8 smaller. That was not very well placed. And I am going to try to correct it, guys. I know it's dumb because we're out of time, but I can't help it. Okay. I'm just glad I didn't press too hard. So for whatever reason, I'm not seeing very well. And I think it's because it's in white and it's just harder for me to see. Okay, we managed. Woohoo! Okay, so this is the front. We're going to go back in the inside. The inside is going to go the same. I just thought of something. Remind me. We'll put it backwards. I'll explain what I'm thinking. Sorry. So this is going to be a simple card. We're going to have 2 layers in here. One white. It's very, very simple piece, right? Like we're not going to get into complicated in here. Just because I guess complicated is not the right word. We're not going to go crazy about the patterns and the colors in here because I want to leave the most of it to the actual pop-up piece. For this card, I will tell you guys little by little what I used. I used a lot of things, guys. I feel so bad when I do that, but I use the Rustic crate. You probably already saw that. I'm really using from the Rustic crate only the poinsettias, which is why I needed another sentiment because that one does not have a Christmas sentiment. I use the Night Divine, just this one. I use the Magical Metal dies. I love. Thank you, Donna. I love these dies, this greenery. You guys know that I love my greenery. And the last thing I use is from the memory trees. I just use this die. And this die creates kind of a like the tree lights and decorations. And we're going to use them here in a little bit. So those are the things I used today. Like I said, I know it's a lot of stuff, but it's just I'm using one thing from one piece and one thing for the other one, and so forth. This red piece is again just 1/8 smaller, so 5 3/8 by 4 1/4, and this other one is I want to say 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. Okay, just a tiny bit smaller, and just like we did with the other card, we're going to adhere these panels first because we need them there first. Like I said, I'm really struggling at seeing the white in here, so for whatever reason. Ah, I know, Carrie. I hear you. So a couple of things. So Carrie is saying that she finds it so difficult to bury those papers in like the foil ones, and I completely agree. Like I cannot be in any more agreement. Unfortunately, I don't have anything white and red only, and I did not. I wanted this to be a very simple card. Does that make sense? Like not simple, but kind of rustic, kind of going with the rustic crate idea. And so that's why I decided to do that. But I completely hear you, Carrie. Like I was struggling with that. Okay, so this is just a regular piece of crumb cake. And I did use my blending brushes with early espresso and pecan pie and crumb cake to just create the idea of wood, and then I did emboss it in the wood. I forget the name of it. The Timber 3D embossing folder. I've used this so many times that again it's one of those things that I feel it's worth it. And I am going to cut these because it's not cut, guys. This needs to be cut at 8 1/4, and there it is, my 8 1/4. Okay. And now we're going to do the same scoring together. So we're going to align at 3 1/2, and we're going to score. That was a very lame score. 3 1/2, 3 3/4, and 4. And we're going to move then to 7 1/2. It's the exact same measurements. 7 1/2, and we're going to score. Whoops, almost, guys. I didn't. And then 7 3/4 and score again, and 8. Okay, so it's the exact same measurements. I did not change the measurements here. And now I'm going to go here at on the place it horizontal, align on the right side at 1/4, and I'm going to score all the way. Okay. So very, very simple. I cannot see this scoring very well, but I hope I did a good job at it. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. We're going to cut between those two little score lines, right? So there's the first one. And so we just cut in the score lines. As you guys can tell, my cutting is disastrous. And now we're going to go all the way to that first score line from the last trio and cut in there, and then we'll cut all the way to the edge. Okay, so that's the first piece. Now we are going to bring our I was going to say Stampin' Seal Plus, but it's not Stampin' Seal Plus. Tear and tape. And we're going to adhere it there. So remember, just on the lower flaps, and then on that last flap in here. And yes, I did leave the folding for later, because sometimes it's very hard to put this stuff if it's already been folded. Like I don't know if that just happens to me, but I've had times when I'm like, I'm really struggling with that. And this is moving again, guys. Sorry. Okay. And now we go back again. So remember, just it'll be mountain, valley. I did not really do well with this score lines, guys. And mountain. Okay. And I'm bringing my score line there, and my bone folder to get those. And this one in the middle. And we're going to go here. It's a little bit easier. So we'll go mountain again. Mountain, valley, and this one goes mountain again. Okay. So just like we did before, I'm going to remove these back in here, and we're going to close this. You can align this however you want. It's going to close eventually well. So I'm just going to put it like around here a little bit so it's easier for me to see what I'm doing. instead of putting my big head on top of you. And we're going to bring this. So because we could not use the, I mean, I guess we could have. I just did not have time to figure that out. The actual rustic crate, I decided to just kind of create like our own crate. And so again, like we did, I'm going to flip this inside just to help me. And we're going to bring this center as best as we can. I would say you can align with the paper because it's going to leave, so with the outer layer, that will make it so that you don't actually get all the way to the to the score line. Sorry guys. And I'm going to, I forgot to say this, so this is not very well centered, so you guys can tell. Can you tell? No, I'm not going to. It's going to stay like that. That's fine. That's what happens when you hurry. I need to set this up in the middle, how it is going to open. So these has to be together because I almost made the mistake of doing it this way. If I would have closed this and glue it here, it would not work. So be mindful to fold it inside. And so this is exactly how our little box is going to look. Okay, guys. Sorry, but I'm too OCD for that. So I am going to like hope this is a little bit better. It seems like it's better. It's like I don't want to put my big head on top of it, but I think this is a little bit better. Okay. And okay, a little bit. And now we just close and it should be there. And now for the decorations, yes, this is what I have. I have a few of those really, really beautiful poinsettias, and we're going to use this for decorations in here. And a lot of those, how you call them? Greeneries from Magical Meadow. So let me make sure we need, I'm going to put one in the front. So I'm going to bring one in the front in here. And I'm going to use glue for that. And this is what I was telling you. This could have totally been much shorter. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but that's fine. And then I'm going to put one in the back just like that. Okay, so those are going to be like my parting points. So I can decorate the rest and based on that. Okay, and then we'll bring, I have already put some of the dots in here, and we're going to bring them and place them in here, right? And we can glue this to anywhere you want. If you want to create more dimensions, you can glue some in the back, some in the front, which is what we're going to do. And I have all sorts of colors in here, kind of what I was telling you guys. I think, you know, greenery is never just one green. I'm just making sure again that where I am putting my stuff is really going to not go above above the there the limit of the card. Sorry. And I'm going to start bringing some other stuff. So I'm going to bring this one and just put it in there. And I have another one of these. I thought I had another one, so I may have to like, so I'm going to put this one in the kind of like in the middle there. Okay. And it's going to be attached to the back, but in kind of the middle location. Let me see. just like that, so we can see them. I should have done more. Maybe I just will use this and leave the other one without. I guess I thought I had more. I don't know why. So I'm going to put this one in here. The other thing you can't do totally, and it is to bring a piece of paper. We can experiment together. And I'm just going to flap this like super quick like this and see if this is going to work. So what we need, no, so it needs, what we need is something that will allow for that movement. So if you want to create it like here in the center, you can do this. Totally can do this. I did not calculate this, so I'm pretty sure that if I do this, it's going to be too big. I don't know if that makes sense. It's going to not put it in the middle necessarily. So let's see. That's kind of, so somewhere along those lines. So this is in the middle. Does that make sense? I'm just showing you. I'm not going to do it because I will need exact calculations. And I don't have those. So I am going to put it in the back. But before I put it, actually, I just thought of something. I'm going to bring some of these other paper, not greenery, and I'm just going to put it back to back to back. So we're building a little bit of kind of like a cushion, if it makes sense. So when we add this, there'll be a little bit more of it's kind of like a separation. It's minimal, but it works, I think. And so I'm going to bring this other one in here. This one has berries too, right? So we're kind of just building a little basket with poinsettias. Oh, wrong. Maria. Okay, on the front, guys, on the front. And I'm just making sure that it is not going to like, see, like this one, I didn't think of it. There you go. So that it is going to close, but and you won't see it. Let me see. I have a darker one, and I'm going to bring one around here. Okay, guys. Yes, that would be a good idea. Carrie is saying strip across, but it's very thin, and so I don't want to. I did not think of doing it earlier. If I would have, then I would have calculated exactly where to put it. Otherwise, it will be in the way. And that is the card, right? So you open, and then you'll have your little poinsettia little basket. I could have done this one a little higher, but oh well. And let's finish this one in the front. So I just am going to put some of our very good old friends in here. And I'm going to use the letters to put this. Whatever I find that there's a letter, so, you know, it holds the best possible. And I think it'll work well. So what you are saying, what I've done in the past, it is from the Magical Meadow set. Yes, Carrie. I told you guys since it came out, remember, when we were doing actually the Very Merry. and I was telling you guys, I love that one. It's really, really cute. So here's where it comes. I have one extra. I thought I have 5 for whatever reason. It's probably going to come up. I was thinking of putting this one in here. What do you guys think? Like on the front in here with this, or use it in the basket and just leave this as is. Oh, don't. So we can do this one in here with our, like that. There it is. And I'm centering this as best as I can. And there it goes. So we have the possibility of just saving these and put it back inside here somewhere. Maybe in the back. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe there. Or put it in the front. I think I'm going to stick with the original idea, which was the front. But in the meantime, so I had told you that I cut those little decorations. And so my thought is that since these were decorations for the tree and this kind of have decorations for the tree, just use on the front, okay, just use this kind of to like keep up with the idea. I did not get the bright, I don't know what's the name of that one, that sweet. I did not get, there's a sweet that has just like this, and I did not get it. So just so you guys know. So I'm going to put this one in here. So on top, right on top of it, and I'm just going to move it all the way to the edge. And, well, it'll be amazing if it stayed, but it didn't. Okay, flower in front. I got it. Good. And then I'm going to bring some of the other pieces, just like that, and kind of like put them like they're going over. Kind of the same idea as the paper, right? So I can put one right there. Maybe. If it stay, it will be amazing. And then I still have a longer one that I can put like right here. So like that. And then I still have a little one that I can put anywhere. Maybe just, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's needed. Let's bring, we can put this one in dimensionals. Because it wouldn't be a Maria project without a dimensional, right? let's face it. And there they go. And I really, it's super simple, but I really like this idea. Now, the last thing I want to show you guys, because, you know, it's about tips, and I'm probably, you know this, but we have a rhinestone basic jewels. They are, as you can tell, kind of silverish, but you can totally use your blends to create different colors. And I have created with my cherry cobbler some red ones to match this because I didn't have any other cherry cobblers. This one is pretty peacock, and you have to use the big tip and go ahead and see, just color it. Sorry, it's too far away. You just color it. You have to wait for that to dry, but then you pretty much, if you have these, you pretty much have every possible color of rhinestones, right, for you to play with. So I love them. So I was thinking I'm going to put one there and then one around here. And then we have the big ones, which I always like and appreciate those big ones. And I'm putting them out so it takes away some of the, actually I don't want that one there. Let's see if I can take it off. And it's too late. It's staying there, guys. So the other thing I thought of was bringing some of these in yellow in here, which is why I colored those. Something along those lines. We can even put the second one if we wanted. Okay, just like that. Okay, guys, we made it. So, again, my mistake. This should not look, I just really like this sentiment and I wanted to use it and I should have thought about it. But best case scenario, yes. Oh, yes, thank you. Oh, Tina, that's so amazing. That is so true. So, you have to think about where you're putting it, like the direction of the card. So this doesn't happen, but I think it's not too bad. Okay. Let me show you the other two I have somewhere. So this is the first one I made. I used that Rain or Shine suite. I love that suite. I use the paper because I still have some. And I even use some of the stuff from the paper pumpkin kit. So yes, this was like, I have it all together. I want to use it. And so this is how this one looks. And this is what I was telling you guys. So this is made with a 1/2 inch instead of a 1/4 inch. And so there's a lot of space in here. I did not want to put anything extra in there, but I think that's, like that's why I made it smaller, because I think that there's a very big gap. Now, Carrie, if I had this gap, then yes, you can totally see there's a whole lot more space in here to put, maybe like this, to put another piece of paper across. So this is the first one, but I really, really love. I really love that paper. These are all cutouts from the paper, and I just love that one. And the next one, this was my first mistake, using oh gosh, Ready to Ride, is it? I don't know. That I love these this suite. I told you guys about it. I love it, the motorcycle and everything. And I rarely ever make stuff for guys, and you know that. And so this was my first mistake. So right, like best case scenario is to put it horizontal. I didn't, but then I made this one, and I really like this one. So in here, what I did, I used the acetate, and again, that's the acetate that comes with the stamps, right? I don't need the expensive acetate, and put some extra props in the back. So I have my big bike, but then I have some of those props, and then you have the ability here to write something as well. So I think these are really cute. I used mostly what was from that suite. Yep, all I didn't. The only thing extra I used in the color I used was the Starry Sky. So I think this is really, really cute. Well, I guess, but beautiful, cute is not a word a guy would like. And here's our little monkey. So, and then, you have the little area there to show the monkey surprise. Oh, really? Thank you, Tina. I was like, it's like a twisty card. That's true. That's true. That's a good idea. I think it's much better, but you're right. It just makes it fun, and I don't think there's a big deal, right? You just have the card like this, and then you have to open it. I don't know. You'll find it, right? It's not a big deal. Thank you, Adrian. I really like that. That Starry Sky, like it's that tone. It's really cool. I really like it with the gray and the black and the white. I think it looks really, really cool. Because I have to say, with the pumpkin pie, I love that color combination. So guys, thank you so much for being here. It took us a little bit. Thank you for hanging out with me. I know we made 2 cards, and it took a little bit longer than we used to. There is only one last thing. Oh, Belinda, are you still here? Belinda, are you still here? Let me know if you're still here, Belinda. Because we need the raffle. So if Belinda's still here, I need to know, Belinda, which card you want from the ones you won. And that was like 2 lives ago. But if you're here, let me know. Okay, guys, let me see. Let's move in here. We're gonna go and kind of setting. Oh gosh, that didn't work. Oh God. And Barb. Oh my God, I will not be able to pronounce your last name, Barb. Swak. It's the winner. Congratulations, Barb. So you won any of the cards last. Which one do you want, Belinda? I don't remember which was your that I can find out. So let me move up here. Okay. Well, I am glad you guys like it. It is always so much fun to create. The other thing, Carrie, oh, thank you, Carrie, that I was thinking for these cards is that let's go chopping suite. That'll be amazing. You like a create in the back. Oops, I'm not. If you create in the back like the whole, like a little tiny village, which will work perfectly also for the paper pumpkin kit. So those are options. So you, Belinda, you won a while ago, but I needed to know. I have your address, which is very cool, but I don't know which card you want. I think I can do this. Let me, because I can pick up this and check it out in here. So I know. So it was for the triple flip card. So that was last week then. So you have, thank you, Adrian. You have the fall one that we made. I don't have them handy. But anyways, go and check them out. So it was like last week. Oh, go take, yeah, no, come on, go, Adrian. You have a rough day tomorrow of work and we want you to be wonderful. Yes, it's wonderful for a Christmas scene, Belinda. I was thinking of doing that, but yeah, didn't have time. So you know how it goes. So let me know which of the three you want. Actually, what I'm going to do, Belinda, I'm going to add in here. That's the video. Oh, thank you, Anita. I'm so glad you guys like it. I know it's late. Those of you, please go and rest. It's, tomorrow is a work day and all that good stuff. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like it enough, please share it in your social media. It helps me a lot here in YouTube. I'm remembering this, Belinda. You can send me an email or we can touch base on Facebook of which one you like the best, and I will send that to you. Okay. And Barb, if you get to come and see, please let me know which one you like. I'll need an email, and I think she was on Facebook. I'll make sure, and then we'll be. I'll send you whichever card from today you want or you like. So, hoping guys you have a wonderful rest of your week. I hope it's not too crazy. That work is not too crazy, and I hope that see you on Friday for another paper pumpkin kit alternative. Thank you all. Have a wonderful rest of your night and many blessings to you. Thank you. Bye. I forgot one thing, guys. I'm saying bye and then I forget.